Alright, this is 5.1, Introduction to Polynomial Equations and Graphs. This first problem wants us to solve the polynomial equation by factoring or using the quadratic formula. So, just go back, remember factoring. If we multiply the first and the last number, x squared minus 4x plus 45. So I would multiply the first number, leading coefficient, which is 1, times the constant, which is 45, and I want to see if there are factors of 45 that add the sign that's closest to that number to give you 4. And I don't think there's going to be anything. 1 times 45, and then 3 times 15. I think that's, and then 9 times 5, 5 times 9. Okay, so these are the factors. If we were to subtract these, we could get 4, but the problem says to add. So, that being the case, this will not factor, so we have to do quadratic formula. That is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which would be that 45, all divided by 2a. So first I want to write the formula down. Then I'm going to plug everything in, and then we'll start working it. So identify a, b, and c. It might help you. A is 1, leading coefficient. B is negative 4, and c is 45. Alright, so I'm going to plug these in. A negative, and I'm plugging into a negative. That becomes a positive 4, plus or minus square root. That's going to be negative 4 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 45, all over 2 times 1. 2 times a. Alright, so just to speed things up, we'll allow the calculator to do this part underneath the square root. So I'm only going to type what's underneath the square root in the calculator, not the square root. So open parentheses, negative 4, close parentheses, squared. So that's that first part. And then minus 4 times 1 times 45. So we're going to let it, okay, I missed the parenthesis. We're going to let it compute this for us. Double check, make sure you got everything in correctly. And then we'll let it compute. So underneath the square root, we get a negative 164. So this simplifies to 4 plus or minus the square root of negative 164, all divided by 2. Alright, so let's see if we can reduce this any. So out to the side, I'm going to see if I can reduce this square root. So negative is going to come out as an I. So I'm dealing with I times the square root of 164. If I divide by 2, we get 82. And divide by 2 again, we get 2 and 41. Okay, so 2 times 41 will give us 164. You got a pair of 2, so that means we can pull a 2 out. So we'll have a 2i, and then square root of 41. Okay, so this will reduce 4 plus or minus 2i times the square root of 41. All divided by 2. And I always neglect to put it, but this is x equals on the outside. Alright, this and this are both divided by 2, so we're going, or divisible by 2. So we're going to divide by 2, and then we get x equals 2 plus or minus I square root of 41. So you get two numbers, 2 plus I squared of 41, and 2 minus I square root of 41. So this should be our two solutions that we're looking for here. So we have 2 plus I, I use the keypad, square root of 41. And then let me see if I can just copy and paste this. Nope, it won't let me do that. Okay, so 2 minus I square root of 41.